Here we are, our brand new world. Oh my goodness, look, brown coal already. That's good to know. But first things first, we need to get some sticks, we need to get some flint tools, and we need to start gathering some sand for our first night of ooh, my goodness, for our first night of panning. Oh, sad. Let's check out this new trader. See if we can find the door. Can't break any of that. Oh, there's this door. Am I hidden a little bit? Cool. Oh, look! It's a little moat with a trap door. Good to see a friendly face. Well met. Got anything to trade? Artisan. Oh my god, there's so much lore stuff already. We don't have any money. But good to mark. Oh, that's fun. Go. This is what I was looking for. Cattails. Lots of cattails. We need to increase our inventory space. Yes, I would like to relocate a bunch of them eventually, but we need to figure out where we're basing before we do that. This early in the game, we just don't have inventory space to be that forward thinking. We just want a bunch of cattails right now. I did see a black bear a little bit ago, but I haven't seen them over in this area. I am keeping my focus like back towards the forest. This is kind of a natural safety wall, right, that I can put my back to. Bear's not gonna, well, hopefully they're not gonna be just flipping through the stone wall. So it should be fairly safe for me to keep my back to that. And I want to focus my attention on the woods. And now I've got a stack. With this, yes, 1, 4, nice. All right, so we've got some inventory now. I still want to get up to another stack so that once we start our first temporary little dirt hut, we can make some reed baskets to store stuff in. All right, we've got a full stack of reeds now, cattails. We heard a wolf coming from this direction a little bit. I am gonna use this as a backdrop again while I make some more tools, and then we're going to focus on gathering some sand and dirt for our first dirt hut. Wow, this is really strong winds. Also food. We only have a little bit of food. Okay, what is this? Jack-o'-lantern? Can't remember. Yeah, we don't want jack-o'-lantern. -6 HP. And I am getting cold. It's 16 degrees Celsius and I'm getting cold. It was wet and the wind is blowing pretty hard. Ooh. Fruit trees are something that I want to do sooner this world than I did last world. We need to figure out where we're going to be basing before we can start moving trees. But really need more food. All right, here we've got some sandstone. Sandstone sand. We will need a little bit of wood. Food? I'm still worried about food at this point. I really want to find more mushrooms or berries. I'm hesitant about spending a lot of stamina chasing down the chickens right now. Oh, and clay. We haven't seen any clay. Keep an eye out for that. Here's some more berries. I do generally like to go south a little bit when I base. So it's a little bit warmer. I am liking how flat this terrain is. We don't have to go super far. And I mean, even right now, we're not looking for a permanent base site. We're looking for somewhere temporary. God, a lot of quartz. The quartz doesn't matter to us at this moment. All right, so now we're in more dry. Okay, so rainfall's still common. This is a forest. We should be able to find mushrooms in here. But we also need to be on the lookout for bears and wolves as we venture into forest. Yes, there we go. Feel a little bit better about my food situation. But I don't have any seeds, like no turnips or grains. Rye. Here we go. Here's some onion. Nothing came up there. There we go. We got an onion seed. That's all you have to do in this game is complain about not being able to find something, and then you'll be able to find it. And you can see I had an extra knife in my inventory, and when my knife that I was using broke, it automatically replaced it with the new one. I am picking up as many sticks as I can. Sticks are just super annoying to get in the early game, so if you see any laying around, go ahead and grab them. Oh, strawberries. That's really cute. This area does seem to have a good amount of food in it. I'm liking this. What is that? Is that a ruin? Oh, yes. All right, we're just gonna eat this green real quick. Just gonna only have 2 of them. Make room in the inventory. Okay, it is starting to get dark. We need to now focus on making a little dirt hut. We need to find some water, which there's water right over here. We just need to pick a water spot and build a little hut around it or near it. I'm just gonna check what this is. Look, there's water over here too. But let's go and grab some extra dirt while we're on our way over. Ooh, I hear wolves. Not sure on the direction that noise came from. So while I'm digging, just surveying around. Yeah, some ruins. Let's see if there's a storage vessel of some type over here. Wow, look how, oh, I love this. Ooh, that's fun. Bony soil. Nice. Okay, maybe it was just bony soil that was down here. Alright, I'm going to pick this little area right here to build a hut around. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that inside the hut there is at least one piece of water. We cannot move water right now. We need a bucket in order to move water. What I'm planning to do this first night, since we didn't find any clay, which is fine, still need to keep our eyes peeled for that, is we're going to be panning this sand that we got. So part of the reason that I got a few pieces of wood is because you do need wood. You need to make your panning plate, bowl thing out of wood. And crude door. I think you need wood for the crude door as well. You do. Okay. Now we have a crude door. We are also going to make some reed chests to store stuff, especially since we're about to start panning. We're going to need some stuff we need some room to store things, but also like to make a torch. We want to pan that bony soil, and then we'll start panning these. I think I need a little bit more wood. Let me check. Okay, no, so we only need 1 log, but now we need some firewood to start a little campfire. We don't really have anything to cook, but what we want to do is start a campfire starter. And this way we can get a torch going as well. A couple torches. All right, so that's there. I do need some more dried grass. So we're just gonna get a little more grass. Yeah, now we can light our torches. This is just gonna help us be able to see a little bit. Put one there, and then I'm gonna keep one in my inventory. Okay. Eat up a little bit. We're gonna eat the foods that we have the lowest number of first. We have a bunch of puffballs. Those are probably gonna be the last ones that we eat. And we have berries. Okay, let me store some berries in here. We're also gonna throw that in there. I do wish you could store the fire starter on the ground, but you can't. It's gotta be in a thing. All right, now we pan. We are panning for a total of 40 copper bits to start getting us into the copper age. That's what the 40 copper bits will allow us to do, is to be able to make a pickaxe, a copper pickaxe, and a copper hammer. We need the copper pickaxe to mine out more copper, and we need the copper hammer to break up the copper bits that we mine. So this is what I'll be doing for the rest of this first night. All right, night 1 is over. We do have 20 copper bits. That's really great. Put this little candle over here for a little bit more light, I guess. I do want to go ahead and make a spear and then a tool rack as well to store the spear on. That there, and put the spear. Perfect. All right, so the only food that I have left currently are these puff balls. Sorry, we need to focus on, so we need food, or we need more sand, and so I do need to make another shovel, food, sand, clay, and scouting out potential base locations. We are a little over 1,000 blocks out from spawn. That is totally an acceptable distance for me. I don't mind staying that close to spawn. I do like how flat this area is. This is very nice. We were finding some seeds and stuff around here. Yeah, like look right up here. Ooh, it'd be really cool to base near Trader. What is this? This looks like a really big ruin. Ooh, farming, maybe seeds? Oh yeah, look, some cabbage seeds. That's great. Can we get this bony soil right here? There we go. Got it. Perfect. Look for some more. We can't super explore this because we don't have seeds. That soybean seeds? No way! Oh man, in our last world, at the very end, we got soybeans. We never got to actually grow them. So being able to grow them in this world would be super cool. I think I need to come back here once I have a pickaxe. I don't think there's a lot else we can do around here. Let's just look for any more vessels that we can crack open. Ooh, these are stairs. Where the stairs lead. Vessel, farming vessel. Love to see it. Oh wow, that's really good. Some flax and some twine. That's really good. Early game. All right, we're gonna come back to this later. All right, let's go towards the forest for hopefully some more mushrooms. Ooh, pigs. Oh, that's great. I heard a piglet. So that's a little scary because the adults will think you're after them. So like baby pigs, baby wolves, baby bears, all of those are more scary than the adult versions, because if they're babies, there's probably an adult trying to protect it somewhere close by. Ooh, nice. Nice big bear. Cool. So I do not have a death pit dug currently. I should probably go ahead and do that. So, oh, there's the wolf. I'm gonna see if the bear is still chasing me, which it's not. Okay. I'm gonna try to lure it towards the wolf and kind of get them to fight each other. Really? I mean, we're finding a good amount of berries. Ooh, carrots are good. Finding berries. We're not finding clay yet. This is great though. Getting some black seeds. We should go ahead and start a little garden soon. I do think I'm gonna be basing very close to this area. Oh, and copper. I haven't seen any surface copper yet. We are not we are not caving right now. We are staying firmly out of caves for the moment. There's fennel. We can use, I think you can use this to do bait, but you can also eat it. And I think I do want to, if we see some more cattails, which I saw some earlier, maybe we'll hit them on the way back. Just grab a few more pig. Grab a few more cattails so we can make some more chests, some more reed chests. There we go. There's some clay. Perfect. All right, we are going to spend some time. Oh, we have storage. We need to eat some stuff, it looks like. But I do want to take some of this clay back. What can we drop? I don't really want to drop anything. Maybe I'll eat the fennel. All right, this is, and there's more over there to the right. All right, we might have to come back. Oh, more mushrooms too. Perfect. All right, loving this. Loving this. So we've already got puffballs. What we'll do is we'll stack them on top of each other. I like that I'm hearing chickens and I'm hearing pigs in this area. That's good because I do want to domesticate both of those. All right, I'm just gonna grab a stack of clay for now. We'll definitely have to come back for more. I want to grab reeds and then but before we go all the way back, oh shoot, you know what we didn't do is mark the base location. I think is right here. Should have done that first. Whoopsies. We haven't gone too far. I don't think it'll be too hard to find it again. But there was a trader nearby, so I do want to check that out. All right, I'm just gonna stay at 62 for now. Head back this way. Oh, bear, I heard a bear. Is it chasing? Oh, pig. Pig is after me because I heard a piglet. Another piglet. There's more mushrooms I really want to mark. Okay. Mark these mushrooms. Not sure. But I'm not going to gather them right now because piglets are around and I don't want to die. Okay. This is where we came from. There's the ruins. And then I believe the trader was up on this hill over here. Oh, here's some more cattails. Nothing to trash though. Start eating these berries. I'm eating the berries, even though I have more berries, I am eating them first because they're gonna go bad quicker than the mushrooms will. This is a treasure trader. I will very seriously consider basing around here just to be near this treasure trader. Yes? Hello, you got anything to trade? You are a treasure hunter. Oh my goodness, all right, yeah. They don't have names anymore. They're all just named trader. They used to have names. All right, yeah, we're gonna base around here then. Let's take a quick peek around. Oh, here's some peat. Need to mark the peat. Rainfall almost all the time. That's good. That'll be good for our crops, so we don't have to water them as often. There are some mountains around there. What if we really like this area here. If our main base, so if we start up here on this hillside, right? And then we can branch out. Got a nice little view. It's nothing too crazy view though. Got plenty of water around us. I do want to like do a good bit of fishing. I don't know if the water's deep enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, that looks deep enough for fish. Okay. And then we'll see how well I marked the house. Looks like I might have missed it. Yeah, I missed it. Where did I put this? All right, we're gonna delete that. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are gonna focus on collecting more reeds, and we're gonna pick a spot for first house. The first house of the new base. Then we'll start building up there while we so we can, like, at night we'll come back here to pan. There's sand here, so that's good. So I don't need to bring back sand. But we can start outlining our main base area up on the hill. Oh, and we can build the pit kilns up there. That would be a good place to build the pit kilns, since we're going to be using that for a while until we get the beehive kiln. All right, I do like that there are mushrooms growing up here as well. This is going to be great since the mushrooms will regrow. Let's go ahead and harvest them, and we'll have mushrooms growing in our base, which will be great for this first year, year 0. And then, I mean, once we get our food system set up with crops and animals, be less helpful, but we can still find a way to utilize them. All right, I'm thinking here's a good spot. So I am going to make rammed earth. This is what a lot of our stuff is going to be built out of at first, is rammed earth. Rammed earth and packed dirt. First thing I'm going to go ahead and do is a pit kiln. If you watched my getting started guide, this probably looks very familiar to you. This is just my favorite way to build pit kilns. I do need to extend it a little bit on both long sides, just for extra fire protection. But starting out with 6 is just an easy thing to do. It's a good, I don't know, it's just a good number. I just like to, this is just the way I like to do it. You can start with more or less pit kilns. This is just what I find works the best for me. All right, cool. So we've got our pit kiln started. Now what I want to do is make a small just storage area that we're just going to put our chest in. All right, so this is, you know, nothing spectacular at all. I am going to put packed mud, the base of it, but honestly, all this is going to do is store building materials for our main base up here. Most of our stuff is still going to be down in our starter base. Then I want to put the candle in here. Let's put some of that. We're going to put seeds in here. I'm going to put some flint because I'm getting close to a stack. I'm going to put some flint in and some of the stones. All right, so I want to get more clay to start getting the pit kilns going as soon as possible. I also need to start a, oh man, you know what I completely forgot about? Charcoal pit. I need a charcoal pit. And so we're also going to need wood for that. We're going to go in here for clay and wood, and honestly more sticks if we can find them. We just need a lot of sticks once we get the pit kiln going. Ooh, I hear bees. Not ready for bees yet, but good to note. It's getting dark a lot faster than I thought it was going to. Still trying to get over here to get more clay. I would like at least 2 stacks of clay. Try to get another stack of clay, and then we need to head back to our starter house to work it all up so we can start it up in the pit kiln tomorrow. All right, we've got a bunch of clay stuff that we need to go ahead and put into the pit kilns. It's starting to get late. I want to grab, I've got a torch in hand. I want to grab some peat on the way up there, I believe. Yeah, there's some up here. And I also need more sticks. So we only have 9 sticks. We need a bunch of sticks. I believe it's either 8 or 10 sticks per pit kiln. Now, I don't have a location for a tree farm right now, and I prefer to use pine trees for my tree farm. So any of these birch seeds that I'm getting, I am just randomly planting them for now. Once we get a little more established, we'll be able to find a good place for a tree farm. But right now, I'm just honestly trying to keep my inventory clear by planting them. So clearing the inventory while still being semi-useful by, having additional trees that we can use later to chop down, even if they're not in a tree farm exactly. And these birchy leaves, this is a really good way to get sticks early game, just because most of the leaves are branchy, and the branchy leaves are what gives you sticks. All right, 2 most important things first, the hammer mold and the pickaxe mold. And then next we need the crucible. And we do need multiple cooking pots. I'm only going to put 3 in for now. We'll put that other one in later. And then we need a few crocks and some bowls. And then a storage vessel. All right, now, oh my goodness, now we need a lot of dried grass. Here we go. Harvest a bunch of dried grass. If we start out with 30, yeah, it's 10 per. So we're gonna need 30 more. Next up is sticks. Yeah, it's 8 sticks per. I think we are gonna need a few more sticks. Yes. Go find some more sticks over here. All right, now we do have 16 sticks. Oh my goodness. We do have 16 sticks now, which is enough for the pit kilns, but I just want to grab a few more just for tool stuff, like 1 or 2 more. Oh, I heard a pig. That's good. It's pretty close to where we're doing our base, and we should go ahead and mark this as our main base. One other thing that I forgot to check was the temporal stability. So if you look down in the bottom right, you can see the temporal stability is currently at 137, which is above normal. But then when we come over here to our base location, it looks like it goes away, which means this is a temporally stable area. I have made the fatal error multiple times that I would settle down in a temporally unstable area and have a real bad time. But looks like we're going to be good here. Next up is the peat. Adding peat to here. It's 4 for these ones, but I believe we will need 8 for the storage vessel. And finally, we're going to light them. The reason that I have these overhangs is twofold. One, when it starts raining, because we have very common rains here, it won't put the pit kiln out. It'll stay lit. And then the other reason is to help prevent me from accidentally walking over them and burning my feetsies. So there are a couple of reasons for that. Perfect. This is all lit. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and make a charcoal pit, like a pretty small one, and we'll start using some of this wood to fill it up. Look, We've got 40 copper now. Fantastic. Also made some progress at the main base. Namely, I got a charcoal pit started, and the pit kiln was running. I'm actually going to bring the copper up there. Like, the charcoal pit is still going, is to be expected. But the pit kiln's done. Beautiful. All right, so we've got some stuff. I think we're going to start storing ores in here. Oh yeah, one thing that I haven't been able to find yet is surface copper. Surface copper is important because that's where you get your first like bits of real copper once you have your pickaxe. Before you start prospecting, you start outlining a main house, and we need to start outlining a smithing area. I mean, the smithing area should probably be around here. Start out small. I want to leave plenty of room, clean everything. Now we've got a place to start putting our molds. I'm also going to put the crucible in here. And then I want to give a good bit of space. Do I want my house near the trader? I want the house here. Oh, we are gonna have to dig up all this peat so that no fires are started. But this is way too small for sure. Again, we're starting out small and we will expand. But next steps are gonna be, I need more clay because we need to refill up the pit kiln with stuff. And then we need to find some surface copper. Otherwise, I'm going to have to keep panning until I get enough to also make a prospect pick. That's going to be the next steps. Was able to find some copper out here in this like shale area. Got some good chunks. I was hoping to be able to find like one more bit of surface copper before I went back to base. I'm not really seeing much. And I don't want to get caught out here in the dark. So I'm probably just going to head on back. And if I find anything on my way back, maybe mark it, maybe go ahead and dig it up. We'll see. Oh, goodness. Flax. Oh, I did, since I have been finding a lot of flax, I did go ahead and make 2 linen sacks to increase my inventory space. That's a good first, I guess technically second inventory increase until we can get some leather. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna head back to base for now. All right, I've been exploring a little bit. I did go ahead and make a prospecting pick, so you can see I've started prospecting. The reason I've started prospecting is because I need more copper. I need a lot of copper. I've been finding a lot of surface copper. I did find a little bit more like in this, like it's like a pretty arid shale biome, a lot of gravel and sand. So I did find a little bit more there, but I am really hoping I can find like a good supply. Like here it's like okay, so we might try digging around here for some more. I did get enough to start smelting some for an anvil, so right now that should be heating up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need at least one more charcoal in there. I'm gonna be in here where it's safe so we can talk through some stuff. I have started the outline of a wall. It's just like 1 block high right now, so we're just gonna make a big rectangle. No real like solid plan for the size of that. We'll just make a big rectangle and then we can shift it around if needed, but it's a good start. I also made a death pit. I do have some animals in it already. I haven't decided if I'm going to harvest them or if I'm going to try to go ahead and get some animal pens set up, but I do need a bunch of well, not a bunch of, probably just 4 to start out with. 4 ingot molds. I don't have any ingot molds ready to go yet. I'm gonna go ahead and work on these. And what else do we need? We need more of the clay storage vessels. I need to make a few oil lamps as well. Probably a few more crocks. And then just the rest of the molds, like the Helvhammer and the Lamal, however you pronounce that mold. Those are usually the 2 last ones that I make because we won't need the Helvhammer for a while. I rarely ever use this, but I make it just in case. And then a watering can. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna be spending tonight doing until the morning comes and I can start prospecting again. Gonna be pretty great. Let me just see if I can. Seems like a pretty calm night. I can just show you around a little bit. So I've got a bunch of the molds here. Oh, great, great, great. We're in here, and that'll get our anvil started. Very exciting. And then the charcoal pit, I'm starting to fill up again because we are going to need more charcoal soon. And these are just some things that still need to be fired. A lot of time is going to be spent on exploration right now. I have been fishing a little bit. Love that. Now I haven't started farming yet, and I usually get farming pretty quickly, but honestly, we don't have like a good water source up here on top of this hill. Everything's down below. Little one over here. Let's see what this looks like. We could potentially like make little rows that actually work. Make little rows like this. Yeah, we'll do this. All right. Before I plant anything, I do want to put a fence around it because there are so many animals around here. They're definitely going to eat anything that I plant. So need to get a fence around it, and then can start planting. There's just so much to do early game. So much going on. All right, so we've got this bear very close to the death pit. If I can get it in. No! Did not go well. Did not go well. Respawn. I really need to build a road down here because this little mountain thing that I spawn on the other side of is super irritating to get across. Alright, we are back. Don't immediately see the bear. Good. Bear is in. Perfect. Bear's in there. And it's killing the other stuff, which is fine. We're going to kill it. Now, we do have some spears and some spearheads as well. Let me grab those spearheads. We'll just make some new spears because I don't want to go all the way back to the starter base to get those spears. Now we are going to quite literally poke the bear. It's taking its anger out on the other animals in there. Fine. Woo! Alright. So what do we get out of this? Hopefully some fat. Perfect. Beautiful. Bones. Go ahead. I was really hoping that we'd be able to keep this ram, but okay. There are plenty more. There's plenty more rams in the forest. Alright, and what are you? Are you a deer? Oh, yeah, you're deers. But you're baby deers. So we're gonna leave them in there. And there is another lamb. Like a male lamb. Okay, that's fine. So now that we've got a couple of hides, we need to start thinking about processing them. I don't have lime chalk. I'm gonna toss the whole bones. I'm gonna put the fat in here. I'm pretty sure with bushmeat we can make some bait. 1 liter of water. We don't have buckets. We're gonna have to use bowls to transport water. I think each bowl can hold 1 liter, so this might actually be okay. Yeah. Cooking pot is too small to make all of that. Okay. Okay. We do have. All right. So this will work. I don't want to do this right now. Geez. I need more storage. What do I want to do right now? I want sticks. I want sticks so that we can get the pit kiln going. Okay. Sticks for pit kiln. Then we can work on bait while the pit kiln's going, because big thing that I want is saw, which I need the anvil for, the anvil should be done by now, but we need the ingot molds to utilize the anvil. So get pit kiln started. While pit kiln's going, fish. Pit kiln going, start the farm. Pit kiln going, fence around, farm, start farm, continue wall, fish, something like that. There's so much to do. I'm gonna try to do this in kind of a safe place because there are some monsters around, but I'm searching for copper. All right, and I'm starting to get some decent readings. I kind of want to show what my process is for prospecting, because I know a lot of people can get, this part, right? I have it set to just native copper right now because that's what I'm looking for. But then the actual finding of it can be a little tricky. So I did want to show, I don't really have the inventory space to handle copper right now. So if I do find it, I'm going to get a little bit of it, mark it, and come back. But what I'm going to do, since I don't have a bucket on me right now, I do need to go back to base and make a bucket, because I think this is called the salt shaker method or something. I don't know. You dig straight down, okay? And you dig straight down in a water column, and hopefully you hit something, because the way ores are generated in Vintage Story, if you're familiar with Minecraft, it's so much different. In Vintage Story, they're discs. They're like flat discs. And I'll show you my process, and then I do recommend for new players, there's a block overlay mod that I actually linked to it in the description of the playlist for this new series, because I did use it when I was seed searching about a month ago. This is the seed that I found, and I just used it to make sure that, bauxite and halite, and then chalk and or limestone were within a few thousand blocks of spawn, so that I knew I was going to have a good seed for a long-term world. But I do recommend it for new players. If you start getting close and you're having trouble finding it, go ahead and use that mod to see how close you're getting. And it'll help you kind of orient yourself you'll start to better understand what the prospect readings are actually telling you versus what you aren't finding. But anyway, since I don't have a bucket, I'm just going to use this little pond. And I do like to make sure I've got 2 blocks of space to get up and out. And dug that out. And we're just going to dig straight down. And because our out is that way, I'm going to face this way. And any air holes that I decide to make are going to be on that side. I also highly recommend getting an oil lamp for this part, because the oil lamp works in the water. Obviously, a torch is going to immediately extinguish. That's not great. But when I do make my air holes, you saw how I went up and went up to that. It doesn't really matter, but that way your air holes dry. God, it sounds so weird. It keeps this part dry, because if you are prospecting around and you're like, oh, I think there's something around here, then the water's not flowing in to your prospecting tunnels. Just a little quality of life thing. So now I'm going to change it to node search. I call this close mode, and I call density search far mode. So I'm going to change it to close mode and just, oops. and just kind of see if anything is around here, just to get an initial reading. All right, Galena. So that's lead. That's not what we're looking for. So we're gonna keep going. It's only trace amounts. Also, I do want to note that in world setup, I do change my prospecting pick close search from the default 6 to 8. That is what I prefer. It's not for everybody, so you can play around with that setting. I'm pretty sure there's a command that you can run to change it if you want to play around with it. But I like to be able to get a reading from farther away and then slowly hone in on it. All right. Ooh, sulfur. That's great for later stuff. We might hit sulfur. I am going to go ahead and mark sulfur here. All right, that's good to know. We are going to need sulfur for later game. I also did start prospecting for borax. I did find some small traces of it. I didn't dig it out. I didn't actually find it. I was just kind of digging around in the area because I really want to find copper first, because we are pretty much out of copper at this point. I think I have 18 nuggets right now. So I want to make sure we've got a good supply of copper before we really do anything else. All right, so now the sulfur's gone, but we're still getting trace amounts of lead. And we're at 76. Not too far down. Now, we do need to be a little careful. Sometimes you just kind of drop into a cave. So if I'm nervous about dropping into a cave, I flutter up, which is pressing spacebar every now and then. So you're jumping to go up a little bit. And that way, if it does suddenly, the ground gives way beneath you, you have some time to react and go back up. Oh, look at that! Native copper, very large amounts. Okay. So because that block right there gave me very large amounts of native copper, I know around that block, somewhere around that block, is a very large amount of native copper. And because I have my prospecting pick set to 8, it could be within 8 blocks. So I'm actually going to start over here in my breathing area, my breathing hole. I don't know what to call it that doesn't sound weird and gross. But this, I'm going to start here and just kind of go in a few directions. All right, so native copper, continuing back, is still very large that way. So we're going to go to the left and right as well. And then on the 5th block is what I prospect. This is going to help, hopefully, give me some direction. That's also very large. So hopefully one of these readings is a little bit different. We'll see. Large amounts. Okay, so it's less dense over to the north side. So we want to be looking to the east and to the south, so the southeast side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in one, and I'm also going to check down and up a little bit. Now this is moving into shale. I wonder if you can find native copper in shale. Or slate. Oh yeah, look, right there. There it is. Huge amounts. Perfect. I wonder if we can just go down a little bit more in this. Maybe it'll just be there. If not, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go down one because I want the water to not creep in on me, right? So my inventory is heckin' full. I am going to try to combine some of the rock and dirt together because I do need a bunch of road stuff. I need a bunch of paths. There we go. And then also you can see the wheel in the middle is spinning pretty quickly to the left, and on the right hand side above the gear icon you see the 0%. Temporal stability here is 0%, which is not good, which means we don't want to spend a lot of time here. So we're just going to get a little bit of copper just due to the inventory space and the fact that it's not very stable down here. We don't want to lose our temporal stability. I'm going to eat some of my items as well to continue to clear up inventory space, but we're just gonna get a little bit so we can get more. Like, I definitely need another pick, right? This pick is almost dead. This is my last copper pick. So if we hadn't have found this, then I would have probably had to do some more panning or gone further out searching for surface copper. Just need to get a bunch of this and then keep moving on. So this is a little patch, it looks like, because we know over that way there's more. So we're gonna get this, and then I'm gonna go this way. There it is. And there's the little hole that we dug down. All right, I'm just gonna keep digging up this copper, but I hope that that explanation was helpful. Just going in about prospecting. It's definitely weird at first, but you kind of get used to it and you get your own pattern. And this is what works for me. It may not work for you. You might need to play around with some different strategies, but hopefully it helps you get on the right track for yourself. And also definitely check out that block overlay mod if you're new, just to start understanding how ores generate in this game. It's very interesting. I've been on a mission for the past hour to try to find this borax, and I finally found it. But I need bronze tools to find it. Which, okay, fine, whatever. at least I found it. But you can see all of my little pokey holes. Like, I did the same thing that I did for the copper. You see, I just keep going to the sides and then up and down, just following like whatever the highest reading was. I kept getting higher reading. Well, here it was all the same. I kept getting higher readings on the left and front. So after this one, I stopped going that way. I kept going front, up, down, left, and then I went that way and it was really high, and then I went this way, and that's when I saw the bottom of this block, and then I was able to open it up to see it. So yeah, it's right here. But I need to do bronze. So for bronze, there's a couple of bronzes that we can do. So there's 10 bronze is tin and copper. Bismuth bronze, bismuth, and copper. And then black bronze is copper, gold, and silver. We ain't doing that. For bismuth, we need copper, zinc, and bismuth. For tin, we just need. So I think we're going to focus on tin first. Tin is cassiterite, so we need to see if we've prospected any cassiterite, which it looks like we have near our base, which is nice, but it's very poor. More over here, also very poor over here. I mean, we can give it a shot since it's at base. That's not too far away, right? 0.3. Yeah, let's just give it a shot. You might also notice that it says poor halite there at the top too. I'm kind of wondering if we have salt like directly underneath our base. That would be amazing. Anyway, we've got a location for borax, and let me kind of go backwards a little bit. Why do I want borax? Borax is a way that you can process. Let me pause while I do this. Borax is another way you can process leather if you don't have limestone or chalk. We haven't run across limestone or chalk yet. I do know that it's within like the first 2,000 or 3,000 blocks because I seed checked this seed. We just haven't found it yet. And you can prospect for borax, which makes it, in my opinion, easier to find. So we want to use the borax. But in order to use the borax, we need some tin to make bronze. All right, let's go search for tin. Back at the borax with my 10 bronze pick, I was able to find a small amount of tin underneath my base. I only needed 2 tin nuggets to get 2 tin nuggets and then 18 copper nuggets in order to get 1 10 bronze pickaxe. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all this. I did go ahead while I was waiting for the 10 bronze pickaxe to like finish cooling and stuff. I went ahead and got some full blocks to make a quern, and then I realized I also need a chisel. I did smelt up a little bit more iron for that I put in an ingot mold, and that is currently cooling. So when we get back, that should be ready to smith into a chisel. So we can make a quern so we can do this borax, because some of my hides are going bad pretty soon. I'd love to go ahead and get them processed. But then we are super low on copper, so I do need to go back to where we found the copper earlier, try to find another part of the vein just to keep going on that. And then I think we're getting close to feeling good about getting some animals domesticated. I have trapped a few. I haven't really started the pins yet, just because right now my main goal is survival and like getting set up. Once I've got a good stream of copper, I think I'll be all right. Copper and now that we also have the borax so that we can start making leather, that's gonna be super great. I'm very excited to get some armor. You can make armor from firewood. You can make this armor. I usually don't, just because I don't know, it requires hides in resin, and I'd just rather save my resin for making windmill stuff and then my hides for making leather armor and backpacks. So I mean, there is definitely a way that you can get early game armor. Like, look at this improvised body armor you could do with dried grass and rope. To me, it's just not, I don't know, it's not worth the time. I'd rather just die and run back to wherever I died a few times, which has happened. I think I've probably died about 10 times. It's okay. It's fine. I am working on a road from my base, you've seen my base, up north to where spawn is, to make it easier when I do die to get back. That's gonna be the first big road that I do. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this borax and then take it back and try to get the quern set up. All right, the first animal pen is set up. It's these goats. What I did is I lured them into the death pit, and then I made a little tunnel that goes up here and had them chase me all the way in and up through here. In the process, these deer that had also fallen into the pit had also came in here. So I just stood up here and threw rocks at them until they died. It's terrible. So I'm gonna attempt to harvest that, but I do believe this means we can go ahead and close off this entrance area for the goats. This is now complete. It's complete for now. I would like to build a stable for them. They're also going to need a bigger pasture, but we have them contained, and I do already have some grass in there for them to go ahead and start breeding. But this is a phase 1. I was out trying to find chickens, and I found some boars that killed me. It was super fun. They hit pretty hard. I'm kind of wondering if I should wait until my leather's done. I do have some leather currently soaking in weak tannin. Strong tannin being prepared now. But while we're waiting for that, I want to kind of walk you through my thought process right now, because I did change the layout, and I think I'm still going to extend this. So over here in this area where the treasure trader is, I want to turn this into like the livestock area. Okay, so it's gonna be livestock plus treasure trader area. And then over here, this is gonna be the house, like the main house, and this is gonna extend this way a bit. And inside the house is going to be bedroom, a kitchen, and then below the kitchen we'll put the cellar. Below the bedroom is where we're gonna start putting storage. So put storage down there. Currently it's just this kind of weird little shed area over here. That's not really working great. So that'll all move downstairs. Then the smithing area, I'm a little unsure about. I might just kind of keep it here in the center. It needs to be bigger, probably 2 stories. Need to do that. Also the fire pit, the charcoal pit. We need to move this, and I would like it to kind of stay near the smithing area. I'm thinking moving, maybe smithing is just going to stay here. Smithing will stay here, just bigger, and there'll be an attached building for the charcoal pit, so we can continue to keep that above ground. And then right now the pit kilns are here, and we'll just kind of plan to put the beehive kiln here once we're able to do so. So right in here is kind of a smithing area. And then we can have the coke ovens and the cementation furnaces back here, which leaves this area open for farming. Yeah, I think I like that. So like a nice big farming area here. Because I've already started putting berries over here. I've been getting some little cuttings. So they're going to go here. And then I've also got some tree cuttings. Fruit tree cuttings, that is. Down over here. Great, there's some more meat to process. So yeah, I think farming would make sense to be over here. And then for the tree farm, oh, I almost fell in that hole. Maybe we put the tree farm over here, because this is like the last reasonably flat area is right over here. So if we do that, if we have tree farm over here and we're putting farming here, we need to think about where the windmills are going to be going. Oh, geez. Oh, hunger. Okay. Because we want to do multiple windmills. I'm thinking a farming windmill could go here, like one dedicated to the corn to like grind stuff up. That could go here, and maybe the second one is just behind it for the smithing stuff. Unless, could we put a windmill on top of the smithing building? What would that even look like? That might be pretty cool. So that's the current plan. That's currently what I'm envisioning right now. But yeah, definitely the goats are going to take up a bigger portion of this, because I do want to also have a like cheese cellar, I guess, over here. Put all the cheese stuff. But anyway, here's one pit that I'm trying to lure either boars or chickens into. And this is another one. This one actually has chicken feed in it. It's got rice and stuff. So, I don't know. Anyway, we'll have at least 2 more here. However, all of these pigs, the goats that I currently have, chickens, they're all small. We know that we need larger hides for sturdy leather. I would love to get a large animal, like an animal that drops large hides, to be domesticated. I haven't really seen any around. The caribou cannot be bred or domesticated. Yeah, so I've seen a ton of caribou around, but you can't domesticate them. So, I don't know, we'll have to kind of keep our minds open about that and see what comes our way. Might be bigger goats that we can get. I feel like bighorn sheep would drop those, so I don't know, if we can find bighorn sheep, that would be pretty sick. Anyway, that's the current plans. Oh, and then we need a tower. We need several towers. We need a central tower. Actually, it might just go right here. It's not really central. It's gonna have to go here. The central tower, or right here. So maybe the central tower goes up here. That's good. And then smaller towers at the corners is what we want to do. But I mean, I've already started the moat again, right? I don't know if you noticed this earlier. The moat has started. The moat is producing results, okay? The moat is great. We're doing the moat again. It's awesome. And I've been having trouble with stuff. I guess they're jumping up on here and then jumping over to get in. So I do need to fix this. And I need to go ahead and build these walls up if we're putting the farmland here. Need to go ahead and start marking that out. I do have a bucket. We can move water. All right, things are starting to come into place. I'm starting to feel decent about the starter resources. We have a few stacks of copper. I feel decent, not 100% good, but decent enough to start diverting my attention away from let's just survive to let's make a base. Okay, we're now getting out of the survival mindset and into the let's settle down here and like start preparing. And I mean, part of that is animal domestication. So I'm wondering if starting the farmlands will attract more animals. So if we go ahead and do a pit here, oh my god, there's so much peat up here. I had to go ahead and make a peat crate. But I don't want to like keep making stuff if I don't have a storage room. So I think the next big thing I'm going to focus on is getting it's going to be rammed earth. It's going to be ugly, but a good outline of what our main house and kitchen is going to look like so that we can start working on a storage room. Also going to be ugly. It's early days. This is just what happens early game. And we can start slowly transitioning into nicer and nicer stuff as we can. So I think my next big step is I need a bunch of dirt to start outlining where this house is going to be. And I think I am going to move it over a little bit. And that probably also means I need to make another shovel because this one's almost dead. Yeah, this is going to get moved over just a bit, and it's likely going to be 2 stories. I'm very excited. This is like one of my favorite stages of this game when you're just moving out of survival mode and into let's start planning mode. It's just very exciting.